Welcome to Liza's Painting Parties. It is Wednesday, January 13th, and we are going to be painting a beautiful Aurora painting that was an inspiration from a photo that we had as one of our options for this week. It won narrowly, but it did get a lot of votes. I think it won by about 6 votes, if I'm not mistaken. So a lot of you really liked that one, and a lot of you really liked the pastel sky. This is one from Saskatchewan, which was really pretty as well. So we are going to be doing the Aurora today, and we'll see. I might have a week where some of the runner-ups make a return, so you guys can check it out and see. Perfect. Excuse me. Hello, everyone. Hi, Jen. So as you're coming on and joining me for the painting party today, please feel free to say hi. Let me know where you're tuning in from. I'm here in Ajax, Ontario. I might just be checking and seeing what's going on my phone, just in case we have any weird links that pop up. So if you see any links that come up telling you to click it, for that's not accurate. They're scammers, and I'm not exactly sure where those links go to, but if you can see me, you are where you need to be for the painting party, and we'll start just a little bit after 6, just to make sure anyone who wants to paint along with me is able to do so. Fantastic. Hi, Cheryl. Oh, I'm glad. This is your first time coming here, I think, then? That's fantastic. Welcome very much. I hope you enjoy it. Hi, Peggy. Hi, Michelle. Yay, I'm so excited. Hi, Tina. Seeing a lot of familiar names, which is really great to see you all come back and say hi. Hi, Ruth. Ruth's back. That's awesome. Very exciting. Cool. Hi, Amanda. The fellow Ontarian. It's really great. Cool. So I'm just going to grab my iPad. It's been charging a bit. Hopefully it lasts our paint session. I didn't realize it needed charging, but it's been charging for almost an hour, but it only got a little bit more battery in it. So I'll just show anyone who isn't sure what we're doing. So we're going to be painting. This is our inspiration photo. Sorry for you can see the lights in the background. That's annoying. Let's see if I can do it this way. Nope. It just reflects everything. But there's the picture. So what I would suggest is if you want to grab a screenshot of this picture, maybe not from like this, because this might be a little bit funky and glary, but you can grab the image from the winning post that I posted yesterday and have it available to you as just reference. I will have this just beside where I'm painting, so you'll be able to kind of see it, but it's still going to be a little tricky because it won't be like as close as if you wanted a reference directly to you. So this is from a photo. So I think now that I've been looking at a lot of landscape shots, I'm getting a lot of things on my feeds with more beautiful landscapes. And this one I think was from a Northwest Territories like Facebook group that have beautiful images of the territories, and that was one of them. So it's so pretty. So we're going to be doing this today. So again, in terms of supplies, so I'll be talking you through how to use basic supplies essentially. If you have like pre-mixed purple or pre-mixed pink, that you can go ahead, you could use that too. And you can always like change up what you want to do. So if you want to go and make it more of a, want to change the color scheme and go more with like blues and greens, feel free to. So this is really just an inspiration, and I just want you to pick up and go with whatever you so desire. Our parties are always where this is the first time I'll be painting it, so I'll walk you through my approach to how I would paint this. I'll be trying to stay similar to it, but I might still take my own interpretations of it. We did one like a while ago. So this was one, so if anyone is liking this kind of flow, this painting here we did quite a while ago. I don't remember what we called it, and nor do I write the names on the paintings in the back, but this video is also up on the site or on my YouTube page. So if you enjoy this session and you still want to get back in and do some more Aurora kind of vibes, I suggest checking that one out as well. Hi everyone. Hi Amy. Hi Jackie. All right, perfect. So yeah, so in terms of the supplies, so we have my canvas board. So I use an 11 by 14 canvas board. I will be doing this in a landscape setting today. so I can get the Aurora. I mean, it might look kind of cool in a portrait too, because the Auroras are so striking and tall. But I don't know, actually. Now I'm kind of feeling I want to do it in portrait. I'm not sure. I might still switch it up again. I don't know yet. Let's stick with landscape for now. And then I have acrylic paints. So I have the basic ones. So we have our red, blue, and yellow, white, and black. I just use basic acrylic paints from the dollar store, so nothing fancy at all. So like I said, very attainable. Anyone can join in. Anyone can paint. It is going to look a little bit different, obviously, because we're not professionals. We're not painting an actual like photo, but we're going to capture the whole element and feeling of it to get those beautiful colors going. So I'll be walking you through that. Again, if you have like pre-mixed purple or a pink that you're really excited to use and you want to do that, feel free to use that as well. I also have my paint palette, which is always very dirty, but that's kind of how I like it. Clean, dirty, like it's not going to affect anything. And then I have some water containers that are also a little dirty too, but they're all clean water in there. And then paint brushes, I always say to have a large, a medium, and a fine point. And I say that in relation to your canvas size. So if you're using a larger canvas, you just want to pick ones that are larger in relation, which is why I don't specifically say use this size of brush or the size of canvas. It really is up to you how you want to approach it and what you want to paint. Some people paint on rocks, some people paint on like a giant like wall in the bathroom, so it's really up to you how you want to approach it. And then I also have paper towel as well. So I use a lot of paper towel during my process, and so I think it's 6 o'clock right now. Okay, good, we'll wait a little bit longer, and then we'll maybe like another like couple minutes just to make sure everyone has their supplies and they're ready to go. And then I'll start talking you through how we'll approach this. Hi, Patty. Hi, Susan. I'm sure you're around too. Hi, Jan. Oh, there's Susan. Yeah, I saw your message now, Susan. Glad you all here. That's so great. Okay, fantastic. And I think Valerie had said that she had run out of white, and that's one paint color I always run out of. I use so much white. I use it for everything. So, yeah, well, of course, since I'm mixing all my colors, right? All right, cool. So we'll get started in a little bit. When we do get started, we're going to start. I'll move the camera as well, so anyone who is new and is wondering why you can't like see things and you're seeing me too much, I'll move it a bit lower so you can see this and you won't see my face the whole time. So the way we're going to approach this is we're going to approach it from whatever is furthest back in the painting. We're going to paint first, and we're going to come forward. So we're actually going to start right with the beautiful sky right off the hop, which is fun. So I just want you to think. First of all, I wasn't sure if I want to do landscape or portrait still. I'm still going back and forth on which one I want to go with. So decide which orientation that you want to do your picture in. Once you've decided, kind of think about how much of it is going to be the land in the front. So I'm probably going to do only a little bit similar to the way this picture is. So maybe like a quarter or like a fifth of the bottom will be like the land. So wherever we want that land to be, we're going to make sure the sky goes just below it, so that when we paint the land, it will cover that portion up and it'll look more realistic. So just kind of think about how you want to place that. If you want to actually put a pencil and just sketch a little bit, just to make sure you know where the line is, you can feel free to. That's not really my process. I just start kind of eyeballing and then we'll go. And then we're going to start off with the sky. So what we're going to do is we'll probably have some purple. I think we're going to go with some blue and red, and then I'll be mixing it probably on my canvas as I go. You might as well, again, prefer to mix it on your palette. Again, it depends on what you prefer, so it's really, I'll show you what I'll do. You can follow me or you can do your own thing as well. Hi, Zuzu. Oh, hi, Tina. Thank you, Tina. That's really sweet. So if you'll notice, you can also send me stars from here if you want to support. It's totally up to you. You don't have to. It's a new Facebook thing. So unlike the random links that come up, don't click on those. If you did want to support me, you can send stars. Other ways to support as well, I have merchandise of my pictures and whatnot up on my Redbubble site, so you can get different images on coasters or tote bags or whatever else if you so like. And then in Canada, we don't have Venmo, but we have our PayPal app. So if that's something you want to do, you can. No pressure. These are free, and I like doing them just for the heck of painting. So, and I love that you guys like to join. So it's totally optional, but appreciated, of course. Hi, Rosa. Oh, fantastic. Lily, bonsoir. My French is horrible. I can understand it way better now, but whew, I feel like I sound like I'm just like decimating the language every time I try to speak it. My son's in French immersion and his accent's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. And of course he never wants to speak it. All right. I'm going to move the camera down, and then I think we're going to start at 6:04. So hopefully you guys are all good to go, and you have your water and the stuff already. There we go. So there. So have the camera kind of like that, so you guys can see it. Still a little dark. Let's see if I can bring some more light in here. Bring one more over. All right, I think that's as good as we're going to get for tonight. I can't wait until 6 o'clock is no longer pitch dark outside, because then we can even be outside painting, and we've done that before, which is super fun. So I'm definitely looking forward to that at some point in the future. Okay, cool. So like I said, we're going to start off by deciding how far down we want our sky to live. So I'm going to bring it down pretty far, and that's what we're going to work on first. So what I'd like to do is I'm going to start by just, again, lightly wetting the canvas a little bit with water. So you're just going to get your biggest fat paintbrush, and you're going to get some water, and you're just going to wet your canvas a little bit. I shouldn't say a little bit. You're going to wet your canvas, pretty much the entire area where you want your sky to be. When I say a little bit, I mean you don't want to put a lot of water. It shouldn't be soaking. It should just be like a little bit wet. That's what I mean when I say a little bit. Hi, Allison. I'm so glad you're here. It has been dark all day, hasn't it? It's been kind of a dreary day. I thought it was going to snow or just be raining or something, but it just was overcast and kind of sad today, I felt. In Ontario here, we are going into like another lockdown. So we had a lockdown initially starting on Boxing Day for 28 days, and nothing's gone better. So what I'm doing now is I'm just dabbing it a bit, because even though I tried to be light on my water, there's still a little bit too much. I don't want anything dripping, so I'm just going to dry it slightly with a paper towel. Okay, great. And now we're going into another one on Thursday. Honestly, the restrictions seem very similar to the first round. I don't really know exactly the difference, but it definitely feels more ominous. I know Quebec is in a whole curfew situation, so I feel for all of you. Hopefully everyone's safe out there. So what I'm doing is, so a few things. Let me just say that. So I was dabbing it off because I want it to be, like I said, wet but not soaking wet. The reason why I putting water on here is because it will make it easier to cover and to start spreading the paint. Acrylic is water-based, so it helps quite a bit when you have that primed up and ready to go that way. Starting just to put some paint on my palette. So I put in like a glob of blue, a glob of red, a glob of white, and a glob of yellow, only a little bit of yellow. I'm going to need more than this anyways, but we'll just start with that and we'll go from there. Okay, so again, we're going to play. This is all playing with color and having fun. It's going to look bad before it looks good. So remember that for anyone who's new and you think it's just going to be like beautiful mix. It might not. Don't be dissuaded. So I'm going to get a little bit of blue on my brush, and I'm going to get a little bit of red on it as well, and I'm doing it on my palette. So I just took some blue, and then I took some red, and it's kind of already starting to make a purple, because that's the color those two make. And I'm going to start to put in some of that purple here in this area. And I'm just going to kind of just do it crisscrossies. Doesn't really matter at this point, because I'm probably going to have to do a second layer anyways. I just want to get paint on here just to get a flow of how I want this to be. So I'm going to get this corner kind of in this dark purple. I shouldn't say, that's not really a corner. When I say corner, I meant like this corner of the sky, but it's not a corner of the canvas. So I'm going to bring it lower than wherever I want my land to live, and just kind of do like crisscrossies and have fun and just, I just threw on a little bit more blue because I wanted it to have a bit more of a blue tinge to it. Let's do some more crisscrossies. Okay. Like I said, right now it's not the way I like it. I don't like seeing my bristles through here, so I'm probably going to do another layer after that, but it works for what we want right now. Okay, so now I have a big globberoonie of white. I'm going to start to layer it in here. So now I'm just putting a streak. So again, doesn't look super interesting yet, just to start getting the flow of how we want this to live. Okay. And as you see, it started white, but then now it's already kind of mixing in with my purple because everything's wet on wet. Ooh, here. Karen says, do we wet the media paper? So I'm using a canvas and it's taking that well. Media paper, I'm not exactly sure. I think it should hold a little bit of water. I think you have to just use your judgment and see. I don't know how waterproof it is, because if it's not, then it's just going to crinkle your paper. So you might want to go straight up with doing the paint. It's up to you. Hi, Paula. Oh, awesome. You're from Alberta. That's fantastic. Fellow Canadian. Okay. Now we're going to start. And again, this is the first layer of it. So this is not the way I want it fully yet. And we're going to get more details as we go. Okay. Now I want to get it a bit more white. And right now my brush has a lot of purple in it. So I'm just going to clean it off a little bit so I can still use this thick brush to get a lot more coverage. So I'm using my paper towel and a little bit of water to take off most of that purple. So it's still going to have some purple, and that's fine. And I'm going to get more white, and I'm just going to go in. And as you see, when I paint on just the regular canvas, it's pure white. So I'm just going to get white paint now on the canvas, and now I'm going to start to slowly bring it in to that lavendery color that I made. Let's start thinking about how I want my streaks, my sky streaks to live, where I want them to go. Okay, I do want some pink happening. So now it's just red right now, but I'm going to throw in a little bit of red. It's like fire. And now I'm going to grab a glob of white, and I'm going to go over that red. Over to red only, like I'm right beside that white other paint I just made. And now I'm going to start to mix it a little bit. So I'm getting more white paint, and I'm just going kind of like over where that white line was and starting to mix that pink. So it's kind of like a rainbowy effect right now. Hi, Kim. And again, this is just the start. We're going to play with it more as we get more colors on here. Okay, I'm going to just wipe off again my excess of that pink because I want it to go back to kind of like a white, kind of almost want like a gray happening too, but not yet. Okay, so let's just get some more white on here. I'm going to use so much white on this painting, it's going to be crazy. Okay, so I feel like I need to start making some streaks that go straight up because it's too rainbow-like. This is going to be that one that's coming straight up. So I just got some of that red again. My paintbrush already had a lot of white on it still, so it just became pink. I'm just going to get this and make it big line down the middle like that. And then I'm going to start to just put in a little bit of white. I think I want a little bit of blue because I want to make it a little bit more purple. Now again, I'm going to clean off my brush. You might have to change your waters frequently on this because we're going to be going back and forth between white paint, like light paint and dark paint quite a bit just to get some nice mixing happening. I have 2 containers that I use usually during my paint parties, so I don't want to like leave the room and re-add more water. I'm just going to get some white. So I'm going to get into this area here that's just pure canvas. I'm going to get some white going and just bring it in a little bit into my streak. Again, I know it's a little glary. It's kind of annoying. Whenever I say glary, I think of the name Larry. It makes me laugh. Okay, so I'm getting some white on the side. So I'm just trying to follow like the kind of the pattern that's on the picture right now. And like I said, for anyone who didn't hear me at the beginning, I always say it looks kind of not that great at first, and then it will as we start layering and putting more colors into it. Okay. Right now it's like a pretty rainbow, but it doesn't really have this Aurora feel yet, at least not to me anyways. Okay, I need to get some more of this purple going. And this is gonna streak in this way. So this purple, I have red and I have blue. And it kind of falls like this, so I'm just gonna get that motion going. Very different than my other streaks for sure. Okay, and again, I'm just gonna clean off my brush just so I can get some white to start blending in here with my big brush. So my white, and then I'm just gonna, again, do this like streakiness. But I'm gonna clean my brush a little bit after each one because I don't wanna bring this dark too much into the other color there. I just want to start blending it a bit. I'm like wiping off my brush quite a bit, quite often. Okay, put some more white back in here. It's kind of like a little bit of streakiness, and again, I'm going to play with that a little more after. I'm going to get more white on this side, even though it's still pretty dark on that picture. I just want to get some white going. And then it's going to Hi, Carol. Bonsoir. Fantastic. And hi, Laura. Oh, I'm glad you think it's pretty. It's still very, again, I'm not happy with it yet, but it will happen. And every time I do this, I'm always like, oh, it's not the way I like it right away. And then eventually I'm like, okay, yeah, it's fine. So I'm not liking this. Okay, I want this to be, I want this darkness. That's a little better. That's better. That looks more wispy. I do want a little, I'm going to put like a drop of black on my palette as well, because I want this to be a little bit darker. Black is like really powerful, so it takes over very quickly. So just be cautious when you're adding black. you think you're painting, but especially in this pretty scene. So I just added, like, as you saw, like little dots. Whatever you think you want of black, make sure you do like a quarter of it. Again, you can always add more, but if you put too much, it can end up, I mean, you can fix it too, but just try not to cause the problem to begin with. Just get some little streaky streaks in this way. Okay. And we have like a bit of a green kind of flow here. I have yellow on my brush. I'm going to get a little bit of blue going with it. We'll see. I don't know. I'm not going to get that same kind of greenness, but see if I can get a little kind of the color going here, and then we'll have to switch brushes. Just going to get a little like shadow of it happening here. Just want to get over here. There's like a little bit of like this darkness before this purple, so I'm trying to get like kind of like a dirty green. It's coming across a bit more yellow, but I just want it to bring that in here a little bit. So I just want to streak it in a little in here. So this brush that I have, it's a bit more of a coarser brush. It's not very soft bristles. The bristles are a lot harder. Someone had said that they thought that it was more for like oil painting, which is possible. I always use these for acrylic, but it definitely like pulls the paint off the canvas a lot easier. But I like the technique when I can get some of those, when I can blend it, it looks more feathery. I feel like I have more control over it. I'm very much a proponent of, like, I know if you have the right tool for the right thing, it makes it easier. But sometimes it's whatever you feel comfortable with. So, like, for example, I'm not very comfortable using a fan brush. So these pretty brushes, which I think look really pretty, I'm not really comfortable using those. So I like don't, and I've tried to practice, and it just doesn't have the same effect. So I prefer to use other things. Again, if it's easier to use a tool, even if it's not like the right tool, I would say still go for it. Whatever feels more comfortable in your hand, you're going to enjoy more and you're going to have more fun with. And it's not really about, you know, using everything the way it's supposed to be, because who's to say, right? Okay, so I think I'm gonna play with this brush still a little bit more, because I am enjoying, like I said, the feathering that I have going on. But I might switch over to a brush that's a little bit more of a medium size, just to give a bit more control. We'll see. I'll see how it goes. I'm really digging this, even though it does look a little bit different, but it still has the same like feeling of like this smear. So I'm digging that a lot. I do want to put a little bit more white in here. I'm just going to get a little bit going in that same kind of I can just blend that out a little bit. Okay. I'm going to blend it out, but I still want the white to really pop in here. Yeah, I think that's a little better. It's a little lighter. It still looks kind of dark, but I'll have to play with that a little bit afterwards. Okay. Okay, so let's get some more white happening in some spots. Okay. Yeah, I think I'm going to switch over to medium brush just to get some more details happening. Thanks, Linda. Okay, let's see if this one is going to be our friend. Okay, Sarah, need more white again. I'm going through white like a maniac on this painting. It's going to be all white all the time. Okay, now I need more blue too, actually. Oh, lied. Going through blue as well. Alright, so I definitely want this area to be a bit more opaque, so I'm going to kind of do what I did before with like a purple color and get in here just to get rid of some of those brush strokes, just make it a little bit more. And again, I'm just using red and blue to do it, and I'm just going to get some white to help me mix in a little bit. Get some okay, so then blue and red, I'm going to get in here too again. Kind of cuts in more like that, like it's kind of like it kind of goes up in it. Yeah, that's better, I think. Yeah, it's so glary, it's so frustrating. Okay, there we go. I'll keep that as is for now. Now this is kind of like a greeny gray kind of tinge to it too, so I want to play with that a bit. How am I going to do that? Let me think. Okay, so let's get some white going the side here. I'm just going to track this with white. Got more white going. Okay, and I do want it to have a little bit of a gray tinge, so I'm going to bring in a little bit of black. I'll just stroke this out a little bit, so it's going to be a little bigger up here. And bring it down this way. Okay, I need to get my purple going again, just to blend it out a little bit. I'm using the same brush the whole time too, so sometimes as I go, some of the white will blend into my purple, so I'm just going back and forth a bit, just to make sure it still stays fairly dark. I'm okay for it to be a bit more blendy than there too, because as long as I'm happy with it, that's why I do this. So as long as you're happy and you're having fun, like, just play with the colors. Again, to me too, like, this isn't where I want it to be yet. I still want to play with that a little bit, but it gives me an idea of how I want my strokes to grow. But this is more of where I want it to be now that we're doing the second coat. Okay, I'm going to go back and grab some more white. I cleaned off my brush with my paper towel. I'm just going to get more white in here. I'm just going to sweep up like here. I think I'm going to get that gray then to come a little bit higher afterwards, but let's just play with the white right now. Okay. Okay, yeah, so I just made it a little bit more impactful. Okay, I want to go back and get a little bit of that gray happening. I want to make that gray a little wider. Yeah, it's great to come out more like that. That's better. So this guy's, I think, I'm going to say obviously, but I think you guys realize this guy's obviously going to take the longest portion of our time today. So we're going to spend quite a bit of time with this one. Hi, Corinna. I'm glad you're joining us from Nebraska. That's awesome. All right, cool. So now I'm going to go in again, and I want to get some purpley pinky going on. Some red and some blue. And I want it lighter than that. Okay. So for anyone who's joining, so what we did first was we had I kind of put in where I wanted the painting to go, like where I wanted the streaks, kind of a base, I suppose. And then now I'm going over it a bit more in detail, and we're blending and we're getting more of the streaks happening here. And I'm using the same colors, like the purple and some of the pink, and we're making all the colors as we go. So I'm mixing like red and blue to get the purple. I'm mixing white and pink. White and pink, oh my gosh. Yeah, that would obviously get pink. No, white and red to get pink. And I'm doing it kind of on the canvas and as I'm going. I'm using the same brush the whole time too, pretty much. So I'm usually just wiping it off with paper towel. There we go. Don't really wet it too much. Okay, so I want this corner to be predominantly pink. Really purpley pink is cool. Okay, I want to bring it down, and I want more of this pink happening here. Then I'm using white to blend as I'm going. I have to kind of mix the colors. So I kind of put whatever color I want down, and then I use white to kind of bridge from the previous color to the new one. And I'm always going back. So after like, I don't know, like right now, like I've done like a few strokes. Oh, I want to mix it a little bit. So as I go, like basically my brush starts not having any paint on it. And it lets me kind of like mix the colors in together, and then when I want more, I go back and get more white on there. So I'm going back quite frequently. Okay, so yeah, I'm digging that a lot. I think that's looking way better. Hey, Paula! Cool. So, where do I want to go next? I want to do this sky here too. So it's kind of like a gray vibe to it. So I'm going to get the white first, and I'm just going to go over what we already painted before in the white, just to wet the paint again, so we can go wet on wet. So what I'm doing is wet on wet mixing technique. I'm not sure if that's the official proper phrase, but I think it is called wet on wet technique. So right now I'm just putting white paint so I can go and grab a little bit of black. So I want to get some gray going in. So I'm just going to put on like little messy lines of black like that. Then I'm going to go back and get more white, and now I'm going to go over that and just kind of play with that to get this kind of sweepy motion. I don't want it all gray. I want there to still have a little bit of white. I think I'll have the gray come, I guess, almost into my pink here. That's cool. Yeah, that works. Okay. Need to get some more red. Oh, that's too much. Let's get a little more purpley here. Okay. Now let's get more white. You can use a little bit of water too to smooth out some of the lines. So I'm noticing like some of the, like here is a little not blending very easily. But whenever you use water, and yes, I use my finger sometimes, it becomes like really, it blends almost too easily, and then you're going to lose some of the strokey colors you have. And that's when you finger paint a little bit. Okay, let's get a little bit, I want more gray up in here. Maybe like that. A bit more white. And just mix this in kind of like a, yeah, that's good. Okay, now let's just blend that more. Just getting white paint just to blend it a little bit more. More white paint. Okay, cool. And then let's clean off that brush a bit. So I just want to go back and get some kind of pure white to play in there a bit. And of course I need to replenish it on my palette since I have ran out of my white yet again. Dun dun dun. And anyone painting along thinking, oh, it'd be really great to be able to show Liza my painting and get her to help me because I don't know what I'm doing right now. Just so you know, I'm more than willing to offer any type of like private event. So if you want to get together with a bunch of your friends and have like a Zoom session so that I can actually talk to you directly, I'm very open to doing that. So you can definitely message me and we can talk about pricing and arrange that dates and all that kind of thing. That would be super fun to actually talk to people in person. And you can pick whichever painting you'd like us to do. I have to still kind of make sure that I can actually do it. Like if it's a portrait of a beautiful human, I might have to decline. But if it's any sort of like landscape scene, abstract thing, I could, you know, send it along my way. We can see what we can do. Definitely open to trying anything, really. Okay, so I'm just gonna start doing this like very vibrant straight up column again. So I'm just gonna go over it. So I'm just getting some red and white, just mixing it together as we're going. I'm just picking up some white and then I'm gonna pick up a little bit of red depending on how it's feeling. I'm gonna bring that up. And then I want it to blend in here. So I want it to get some white. And I want to just blend this a little bit. So I know it's a pretty straight line, but I still want it to blend from here. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I like that. Okay, that's turning out the way I want it to. Okay. And I do want to kind of start turning in this purple color. I'm going to put a little bit more white, even though it looks a little shocking, because I don't want it to be like a super dark purple. I'm going to get some blue on my brush, and then a bit more red, and then I'm going to just play a bit more with this purple blast in the sky. Yeah, that is cool. Okay, so let's get some more white happening. I think I made it a little fat, so let's thin it out a little bit. Get some of this white here more. Okay, and then I want it to have a little bit of that gray kind of vibe. So a little bit on this side, and there's a little bit on this side. Just dabbing it in on both sides, cleaning off my brush a bit, and just trying to lightly blend it into my wet paint, but still keep the integrity of the, I want still the sea gray, but I don't want it to take over everything, and I don't want it to disappear in what I have. Weird balance. And again, like, you can use water, but water may just dilute it fully, and then you just get like a blob of gray. And that's, for me, that's not what I want. So I usually try to use another color of paint to blend things in. So I'm using white right now because I want this middle streak to be that bright white. So I'm just trying to blend it with the paint itself. I need to make it a little darker. And I don't want to lose that other integrity of that kind of feathery yellowy I had going on there. Yeah, I think that's working. Okay, that's good. Okay, cool. I still want to do a little bit more purpley happening over here. Kind of red going on. Okay, how's everyone doing? Are you enjoying it? Are you hating it? What's everyone feeling? I hope you're having a good time, even if it's challenging. Again, it is like acrylic, so it's really easy to use in some ways, but it's also a pain in the butt in other ways. But the great thing is you can like let it fully dry and you can paint right over it. So if you're not digging it, it's not going the way you want it to, if you want it to restart or retake, you know, a try at a section that didn't turn out the way you like, you can definitely do that. So it's forgiving in that way. Just annoying sometimes. I'm taking a lot of this, and I feel I'm going a little too far into the area I didn't really want to go into. Yellowy, greeny color happening. Don't want to dissipate fully. I think I want to bring some of that. So I have a bit of yellow and blue, so I have kind of a green, and then I'm putting like a drop of black just to make it a little darker. So it's kind of like a dark green, and I kind of want to add it in some spots, but very lightly, just to get like get the feeling it exists in these areas. But this is like on dry, so it's just dry brushing it a little bit on top of this spot. Yeah, I think that's looking good. Okay. I still want this a little darker. I'm not sure. If you're not sure how it's looking, try to like step away, look at your picture from a bit of a distance, and see what you like, what you don't like about it, what you want to touch up with it, what you want to keep. I'm going to dull down the things I just did, but I'm going to put just some white kind of strokes through it, so I think that looks a little bit better. Okay, I think I want it a little darker. Okay. A little more blue in there. It's a little too pinky. I want it a little bit more purpley. I'm using like a little drop of water on my brush just to blend this a bit easier. Get some more of these streakies happening. Okay, I think I'm almost done with this, and we'll move on to the land. Of course, too, you can go in with an even thinner brush, and you can just make more of a like concentrated effect if you want like more specific lines, like having little streaks of white and purple and pink. So you can definitely play with that a little bit more if you wanted to go that route. That could look really nice too. Okay. It's kind of a different vibe in the rest of it. I think it's working though. I'm gonna get some water and try and dull out some of these lines. I don't know, I feel like I might ruin this as I do it, but I'm gonna try. No, I think it's fine. Okay, good. That's working out okay. I'm gonna go back in here and make it a little darker because I feel like it's not dark enough. It's not dark enough. I really liked how I did that, but I'm not happy with the way the color is, so I need to go back in and touch it up a bit more. I do want it a little darker here. I'm just getting pure black to kind of just emphasize some of this. Let's see how this is gonna go. Oh, I hope I didn't just make a mistake by doing this. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna be a little bit darker, but I think it's gonna work out okay. Okay. Let's get some white. Yeah. I do think that's a bit better. It looked a little bit choppy. I think this is gonna still give it kind of a bit more of a sweepy look, but it will unify it a little bit more, I think. Yeah, I think that's a little better. Okay. Now I need to play with all this here. Okay. Bring in that other. It's very bright at the bottom here. Ooh. Second guessing this. Okay. I stopped playing with this area. It's okay, but I think it's a little better than it was before, but I don't know. Still want to put on a little bit of that yellow back in here because it kind of removed it. Okay. Yeah, I need more white again. Just going to use this whole bottle of white in this one painting. That's what it feels like. Okay, so right here. Just want to make it a little bit brighter. I have to wait till it paints realistically, but it's okay. Till it paints. Oh my gosh, till it dries. Wow. Okay, I want a little bit more white streak in here. Yeah, let's give it a nice white streak that kind of comes down. Like that, yeah. Put a little one here. Oh, come back. I'm just looking to see how some of the few like white streaks that kind of come up like this. I'm gonna add a few of those in. Okay. Okay, I think I need to stop. And then we can do some of the land that's happening. So I feel like I'm going to keep doing this over and over and over again. Valerie's saying that hers isn't going to be anything like mine, but that's okay. And you know what? None of ours should be all the same because it should just be your feeling of it and how you interact with it, and it is tricky because we want to get all these different colors. You want to get this feeling of like this movement, you know, and I wanted to get this kind of like blurriness happening here where you don't see it as apparent on this side. So I don't know, like I'm not sure if I'm going to love it when I look at it tomorrow. I don't know. I might like it. I might not. It's kind of weird. It's not really capturing the same kind of effect that's there, that's for sure. But I'm going to go with it for now, and I think I'm going to start off and do the land and kind of piece it together and then see what happens, and if I dig it, cool, and if I don't, then I might change it up afterwards, you know? And that's totally fine. And you can do the same thing as well, right? So I'm going to get some black, and I'm going to start with the land at the bottom here. So what I'm going to do with my big brush is I'm going to kind of just start off wherever I want this land to be. And this land is not straight, so I want to make it a little hilly. Okay. Okay. And I'm just going to fill this in with black for now. Okay, so there we go. All nice and black land in the front there. Oh, thank you, Bonnie. Happy New Year, Bonnie. So that it's looking awesome. Patty says cool. Awesome. I hope you guys, hope it's turning out nicely for you. I'm not convinced. I don't know. I like the color patterns. Like, I like how I did it, but like it doesn't match that. So I'm not a super fan. But I'm gonna let it go. We're gonna continue. Okay. So I want to start putting in some like trees and some bushy things going on in the background here. So I'm gonna get one of my thin brushes. Which one do I want? This one or this one? I don't know. Let's do this one here. Okay. So when I do some of these trees, again, I'm going to get the black. I'm going to put a little bit of water just to make them, the black, a little bit easier to manipulate. Okay, and let's just put in a few trees. So I'm going to put in kind of like a line like that. And then I'm just going to like smudge a little bit on either side. I'm going to go down, and it's kind of like a zigzaggy. And there's my first tree. Another one pretty close to it. Okay, there we go, another tree. I don't like the tip of it though. I'm just make it a little bit taller. Okay, I'm gonna build another one like here. Okay. Another one like here. It just kind of goes wider as you get down to the base. Look back and forth, and then just go a little wider as you come down. Some are a little further away, so you can't really see them as well. Right. Okay, let's get this a little bit smoother. Okay, so another one over here. Some smaller ones back here. I gotta see them as well. Okay, and there's this one here. And this one has different branches that comes out. Okay. I'll put another kind of some branches just living close by to this guy. My brush is kind of like has kind of almost like 5 bristles or something that's coming out, so I'm just kind of using the bristles to create this feeling. So that works. I'll make it a little thicker, closer to the main branch. Okay, cool. It's got some trees going on. Oh, sounds good, Terry. Have a good day. Hopefully you'll be able to check it out later. I can't wait to see yours. Oh, and all the sparkles to you too, Bonnie. That's a sweet message. Very cute. Okay, I'm going to try a little bit happening here. Okay. Okay. And we got some fluffy bushes happening on this side. So I'm just gonna kind of give it like a feeling of like living bushy things here that aren't as well defined as our trees over there. Maybe there's just more of them. Maybe these are different types of trees. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Kind of has that vibe here. And another little grouping over here. Got a smudge of stuff. Awesome. All right. So now I think this is still pretty darn wet right now. So if I start putting in white for the snow, I don't think it's going to work very well. So at this point, we can either kind of go back to the sky and play with it a little bit. If you wanted to do any more with it, which I think I might do a little bit. I'm not really digging how that's looking. Get some pink going again. That's like a weird tip there. I don't know. It's not what I'm liking. White again. Okay. I wanted to play a little bit more, and I'd added that in. It's not the same streak that was there before, but that's okay. That's not the same streaks that were here before either, so kind of works out all right, I think. I'm not sure. Like some purple. I'm just gonna tidy up this line a little bit. My tree line's gonna be messed up. Oh no. Well, those two trees look kind of funky now, but that's okay. I'm gonna fix that up afterwards. Okay. There we go. I just painted over those trees. Alright. Let me fix those guys up. Okay. Yeah, so that's still pretty wet. Okay, so the other thing we can do is we can put in all the stars that are in the sky. So what you can do is you can either spray it on with one of your big brushes, which I think I'll start doing it that way. So I'm going to get white paint. Again, more white, of course. And then I'm going to get it on my big ol' brush like that. And then I'm going to start to splatter. Oh yeah. That's okay. Thing is, you're going to get some weird splatters happening. When you do it this way on a paintbrush, you're going to get some lines and some small dots. So I have a nice big splatter there. I don't know if I'm going to keep that or not. It's a little much, but at the same time, I kind of like those splatters. So again, I think I'll wait until I'm done the painting and then I'll decide if I want to keep that. This is where, for anyone who's a bit of a control freak like me, it's a little scary. You're like, well, what is going to happen? I still find that it's still very, they're very small. Like all the little stars, which is okay because some of them are like really far away. Like right now you can only see the crazy like weird line, I think, that came up on there. And I have to clean that iPad screen for sure. I do think it's a little much in terms of this white line. Ooh, that's not going to work, is it? Okay, let's see how I can fix that a little bit. I'm going to make some more of this purple. It's a little much, I think. I do like when it kind of smears on like that, but that was a little intense. There you go. So I just put some purple on top and it turned out alright. Okay, but one thing I am going to do along with the wild splattering is, oops, yeah, there we go, is I'm going to go into my thin brush and I'm going to put just a few little dots of white in certain spots. So I'm probably going to go here just to give some of these stars to be a little brighter, a little bigger. Yeah, cool. Okay. Okay, so you can leave it like this if you don't want to put the snow in. Or if you want to put the snow in, it's pretty easy. So we're going to put in some snow as well. So I'm going to get my medium brush. I'm going to get my white now that my paint's dried. And let's start putting in some snow. So the way we're going to do that is just going to dab it. Ooh, that's still wet right there. That was a bad place to start. Okay, let's go over here where it's not wet. And I'm just going to put in some snow. I'm just kind of like globbing it in a bit. Okay, and there might be some areas where you can still see the black behind it. Okay, so I'm going to put in a bit like this. Just kind of trying to look at the photo and seeing where some of the ridges are, where the snow has landed and where there isn't any. This area has some snow there. And let's just glob it a little bit like this. About there. And then I have some more coming down this way. Okay, that's still wet, so let's not do that yet. It comes down that way. And then we have a little bit more that kind of comes up a little bit. This is wet. It's going to turn like gray. Okay, go away from the wet. Bring this down. Up on this side. This is going to be more snowy. And then we have a few little lines of snow in different spots. Here there's a lot of little like dabbies. I think that's alright. You may want to get your thinner brush too if you want to get in a little bit more like little details of the snow. I'm pretty good with it like that. You know, I might still go in a little bit. Yeah, I will. Just a little bit. Just to play with some of the little cool. All right. So some of it is still, I can still see a lot of the black behind it. So I think I'm going to go over some of my white again, just to make sure it actually looks like it's covered the black behind it, because some of it does not look like that. Make it again a little bit more opaque. Ooh, it's still wet over there. It's not going to make anything opaque. Okay, I think I might have to leave that a bit until that part dries. I think that's about it. So yeah, that was actually quite fast. Very strange. I'm just gonna sign my name. Just here. My initials anyway. This brush is not my friend. There you go. Okay. And there we go. So there is my version of the Aurora over Inuvik, which is in Northwest Territories in Canada. So hopefully you guys have enjoyed that session. Again, I'm still like not like super loving that, so I don't know, I might end up switching that up later, but I like the rest of it. I like the feeling of it. Definitely, like I said, it was a lot faster. I can't believe it's only 7:18. It's very weird. It did not take as long as I thought it would. But yeah, definitely more time to play with the sky. That's for sure. I think if I were to do it again, I would definitely play a little bit longer with that area before I start doing other steps on it. But regardless, I hope you have all enjoyed today's paint party, and I can't wait to see your paintings. So please snap a pic and put it in the comments so I can check it out, and I'll put mine there as well. I'll put another post actually with this painting on there, so you can take a look and you can see mine if you'd like to. Again, this week, so on Saturday, there'll be 3 more options for you to choose from. And the one with the most votes by next Tuesday at noon will be the one that we'll paint live next Wednesday. So you can just go ahead and you can vote when it comes back up on Saturday. And again, all these are free. You can find it on my YouTube channel or under the videos tab once this live is complete. And you can watch them whenever you so desire, and you can share them with whoever you'd like as well. So thank you again so much for joining me today. And I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll talk to you soon. Thank you. Bye, everyone.